argue with me. Woodbine, Georgia? Nobody here would know Woodbine, Georgia. I know Woodbine, Georgia. Same areas people do. I asked Greenville, South Carolina, what the small town they make fun of was so I could do that joke. It makes me look like I can connect with their area. Whatever. But I didn't ask before the show. I actually asked the audience, and all of them yelled out something different. They all yelled out something different. But there was one person in the middle of the audience who yelled out something that caught my ear. He said, "Possum Kingdom." I was like, everybody, shut up. What'd you say, sir? I said, "Possum Kingdom." Is that a thing? Really? Yeah. And I asked the audience, like, is that a real thing, Possum Kingdom? Yeah. Then what are we arguing about right now? You all yelling out something different? You have a Possum Kingdom? That's the town we're making fun of. I don't even care if that's not the smallest town. I don't care if Queen Elizabeth has a summer home in Possum Kingdom. We're making fun of Possum Kingdom. I told that story in Vero Beach, Florida recently, and they said, we got one better. We have a Yeehaw Junction. Okay. That's cool. You can cheer for Yeehaw Junction. That's a weird name. That's cool. But it's no Possum Kingdom. That's what I'm saying. Somebody yells out Yeehaw Junction like it compares to Possum Kingdom. That's not a thing. But then the guy was like, yeah, but it used to be called Jackass Crossing. Cool. All right, that's not bad. I like that. That's pretty good. Wait a minute. It used to be called Jackass Crossing. Yeah? So they changed it to Yeehaw Junction. Yeah? And you're not seeing the ridiculousness of this, sir? Like at some point in Jackass Crossing's history, they decided, we gotta change our name. They're Google mapping us, there's a curse word in the name, we gotta change it. We gotta keep our country roots. Like you guys, there was a big meeting, there was a town hall meeting. The mayor of Jackass Crossing came out to change the name, and they deliberated all day. That's a big decision, they had to deliberate all day. Finally, some time in the day, back of the room, some guy yells out, how about Yeehaw Junction? Yeehaw in the name, that's awesome. Let's put that to a vote. And then they voted, and at the end of it, they're like, the hell yes, have it. Because I'd imagine that you, in a town that small, you vote hell yeah, hell nah, I guess. I don't know what the opposite would be, but whatever. I got to get out of here. We have a lot of show for you guys, and we are going to have a lot of fun with you guys. But I want to leave with this. Oh, okay. I thought somebody was applauding my departure. No, there was just they were meeting each other. Like, don't. It's like, good, he's getting off stage. Like, there is no stage to get off of, so you can just, yeah. It was just two guys meeting back there. That's all right. I'm not insecure at all. So once again, are you guys ready for the show to get started? Yes. So ladies and gentlemen, your first time to come on stage. Why don't you guys give him a lot of love because he made his trip here all the way from Orlando. So ladies and gentlemen, lots of love. Give it up nice loud for Larry Griffin.
Brian, everybody. Brian. All right. Yeah, I am hard of hearing. That's one of the first things that people notice about me. I'm disabled. It's not that big of a deal. There are way more disabled people than me. I just can't hear that well. I'm disabled like the frat kid drinking Guinness on St. Paddy's Day is Irish. That's how I'm disabled, you know? There are way more disabled people, and it's like I don't think about it all the time. It's just another part of my life. It's another thing in my life, right? Like the way that it affects me is that I don't hear a song in a bar occasionally. There'll be some 80s one-hit wonder coming over the speakers at the bar, and like my friends will turn to me and be like, oh, do you hear that? And I'll be like, no. And that's the whole interaction. That's all of it. There's nothing else, you know? All I'm saying is that I'm not tired of Don't Stop Believin' by Journey, you know? Some people hate that song. I think it's all right. Why not? It's catchy, you know? If you're tired of a lot of songs, then just become half deaf like me. That'll really solve the whole problem. Music will be a whole new world open to you. It'll be great. It'll be amazing for you, right? There's a lot of audience. I'm surrounded by audience on almost every side. If someone wanted to come up and stab me for something I said up here, there's not much I could do about it. So please don't, and if somebody is, I hope somebody warns me. That'd be nice. Yeah, I am a millennial. I'm in my mid-20s, and I've heard what people say about our generation. They say that we are lazy, we're entitled, we don't want to work. I've heard all that. I don't agree, you know? I don't agree. the murder rate in this country skyrocketed last year, way higher. And to me, that means somebody is getting shit done, you know? Millennials are hard workers, you know? We're out there being activists. We're changing things every day. Mostly in that way. Yeah. I do enjoy dogs, but I think some people take it too far, right? Some people are like, oh, my dog is my best friend. I'll never like you as much as I like my dog. My dog is my best friend. And that's fine, but at the same time, like, that's putting a lot on the dog, isn't it? You know? The dog is forced to hang out with you. You don't let it go outside without a leash. It doesn't have any other frame of reference, you know? Let your dog go out and see other people. And then if it comes back to you, it really loves you. And if not, I don't know. I mean, find some friends that aren't dogs, you weirdos. About that? You know, that'd be nice. There are people out there that need friends. I'm not one of them. I have a lot of friends. They're just not here. You have to trust me on that one. You know? Yeah. I do think that lies are the foundation of society. Because we all think that honesty is so great. But you know, lies are really important. We can't be too honest. If you're too honest, you hear a lot of really awful stuff. You hear stuff like, Martha, that watercolor painting is terrible. It looks like a baby vomited on a stick figure drawing. It's a terrible painting, Martha. Why can't you just be happy with what you got? You got a sales job at Coca-Cola. You got a 401k. Why do you have to strive for more, Martha? You know, nobody wants to hear these things. It's atrocious. You know, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear, Susan, the reason we're not coming to your house for dinner is because last time you bored us to hell with an awful story about how you thought your kid had pink eye, but he really didn't, and it had no point to it. It went on way too long. It was a terrible story, Susan. Also, your pot roast sucks. We can get better at Applebee's. That's why we're not coming to your house for dinner. That's way too honest. No one wants to hear these things. There's a point where there's too much honesty. That's true, you know? And I think I am getting pretty good at lying, I gotta be honest. I don't know if that's a good thing. But I told a girl recently that the reason that owls' eyes shine bright is because they steal light from the street lamps outside. And she believed me. That's insane, you know? Why would somebody believe that kind of thing? I don't know. That's how good that I am. I can just say any random nonsense and people apparently believe it. I might be a cult leader soon. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. Yeah, you know, who knows? Yeah, man. I drove by a lot of churches on the way here, and like some people like to say that God has a plan for us. I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm not trying to step on anyone's beliefs. I'm just saying there's 7 billion people on the planet. That's a lot of plans, you know. I can barely remember when my doctor's appointments are, you know. If someone came up to me and said, remember 7 billion doctor's appointments, I'd probably screw 1 or 2 of them up. I'm not perfect. There's no way, you know. I don't know. I just think apparently God's plan for me, if he exists, is to do open mic comedy a lot and fail at forming long-term relationships. That's the plan. I don't like that plan. That's a bad plan. I think God would fail at creative writing class. The teacher would be like, God, you gotta make the story way better. It's got no character development. The arc of the story is very weak. It's a bad story. Take it back to the drawing board, God. And that would be how that goes. And I don't know. You can think about that if you want. My name's Larry Griffin. Here's Brian Thomas. Thank you.
Larry Griffin, everybody, give it a go, please, Larry.
All right, Larry Griffin.
Yep.
How you doing, Larry?
Oh, pretty good. Thank you.
And Larry, where are you from?
I'm from Orlando, Florida.
Oh, okay. And what made you go get into comedy?
A series of unfortunate experiences, which is true for a lot of comedians. That's just how it goes sometimes.
Right.
Misfortune turns into comedy.
Oh, okay. Would you like to share?
Oh, I mean, there was a lot of stuff about losing my job and some other things that happened, and I just had nothing else to lose, so I started doing comedy, and it's going pretty well.
Oh, okay. Where do you perform? Around town here?
I perform all over Central Florida, and I perform in North Florida. I'm trying to perform other places, but, you know, you do what you can.
Right. And okay, yeah.
Yep.
Do you have a my face or Facebook? I call it My Face, but you have a Facebook
I do, yeah.
where they could get in touch with just Larry Griffin on
Yep.
On Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, they can. I don't know if I'm going to accept, but they can try.
Okay. Do you have your schedule up at that place, or
What's that?
do you have a schedule where you're going to be performing?
Yeah, I mean, I post it whenever I feel like it.
Oh, okay. Okay, and who's your favorite comic?
My favorite comedian is Doug Stanhope.
Stanhope?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Oh, good.
How's it going, everybody? I don't care. Let's get to know each other, shall we? My name is Matthew Elliott. Tell you a little bit about me. I recently bought a pair of edible underwear. It's not for sex or anything. I just find it the easiest way to sneak food into a movie theater. I'm originally from the great state of West Virginia. Liars. Those my brother, sister, cousin, whatever's over there. No, I'm glad you know where West Virginia is, because nobody knows where West Virginia is. I said I'm from West Virginia. They're like, oh, are you by the beach? Are you by Roanoke? I'm like, no, that's Virginia. I'm from West Virginia. Here's the difference. Virginia is for lovers. West Virginia is for cousins. No, man, I like big women, man. Because you know what? Beauty should not be categorized into one shape, size. Beauty can be any shape or size. Am I right? However, there's a difference between dating skinny chicks and dating bigger chicks. Subtle, very subtle differences. Their clothing, for example. Skinny women that wear things on their butt that say things like juicy. I dated one girl, her butt said gravy. Instead of angel, it said angel food cake. Instead of pig, it said pig! I'm not just exclusive to big women, I like skinny women too, I do, but every time I'm making love to a skinny woman, I look at their eyes and I know what they're thinking. The Matt Elliott balloon has been with Macy's for 8 years now. But, no, I love it. Sex for me with a skinny chick is the best ever. Because it doesn't matter if I'm good or bad or not at sex. Because if I'm on top, she's going to be screaming anyway. Me and my wife have been married for about 5 years now. We've known each other for about 5 years now. Seriously, we met in September, got married in December. It was a whirlwind romance. We are still happy today. Because when I saw her, I knew this is the woman I love. When I saw her, I knew that this is the woman that could complete my life. I knew in that moment, this is the woman I am going to grow old with. Some things I didn't know, though. My in-laws. Didn't quite know my father-in-law until I get a call one day like, hey, Matt, you got any clean piss I can borrow? Do I have any clean piss that you can borrow? Sure. Great. Pee in a baggie and bring it over to the house. Well, can I just come over to the house? I mean, no. Pee in the baggie first, then bring it over. So I peed into the baggie and I'm walking down the street. Like some urinal delivery system. UPISS. So I get there, like, okay, what's happening? They're going to drug test me tomorrow. When I'm going to attach this to my leg and put a straw in it. So that way they think I'm peeing. Ha-ha. Your father-in-law's a smart man. I'm like, sure are, Dad. So he goes to the restroom with my bag of pee. He's in there for about 5 minutes, and I hear, oh, damn it! I'm like, oh my God, what happened? He's like, I just spilled it all over myself. I said, did I just pee your pants? Is that a thing that they, no, just West Virginia, I guess, all right. Oh, by the way, does anybody celebrate anything tonight? Birthdays? Anniversaries? Parole? No? Divorce? Let's just say he's turning 25. He's turning 25. What a worthless age. It really is. It's just a joke. No, what a worthless age. There's only 3 birthdays that you should ever celebrate. 16 because you're sweet, 21 because you're legal, and 55 because you can eat half price at Denny's. That's it. God, I could go for some Denny's right now. Anyway, sorry, I'm just a fat guy. I know when you're, I mean, yeah, moving on. So, my grandmother turned 95 on Christmas. On Christmas, she turned 95. She's like, Matt, I'm so disappointed. I'm like, why, Grandma? Like, for my birthday, I really wanted a cell phone. I said, Grandmother, cell phone, why? She said, to keep in contact with my friends. I said, Grandmother, you're 95 years old. Don't you need a Ouija board to do that? My grandmother loves that joke. I told her to the other day. She laughed so hard, she farted, dust came out. It was a beautiful thing. And then there's my mother. My mother and I have a weird relationship. Not one of those West Virginia, but nothing like that. On my 18th birthday, my mom got me a carton of cigarettes and a life insurance policy. When I turned 21, she got me a 24-pack of Natty Ice, a car with bad brakes, that increased the life insurance policy. When me and my wife got married, this is honest God truth, they said, Mom, Dad, we're getting married. She turns to my now wife without missing a beat and says, why, are you desperate? I'm glad some of you are chuckling. I'm in therapy now for that. Found a way of dealing with my mother, though. Last year for Mother's Day, I bought her a book on Sigmund Freud. Now we're not talking. Hey, here's a weird thought. When Asian people find something funny, do they text ROR? My wife and I, we were tired of the redneck lifestyle, so we moved to Daytona. Home of NASCAR, woo! I think the Daytona 500 would be more interesting if we put Florida drivers in the cars, don't you? Can you imagine that race? The green light flashes and why is nobody moving? All right, the race is finally underway. The number 2 car is texting while driving. The number 14 car has its blinker on. And the number 23 car is cooking meth. My wife wanted to move down here. She wanted to be closer to the beach. I hate the beach. I do. There's guys walking around with 6-packs and pecs. I'm walking around with man titties in a keg. Which is okay, because you know what? Keg man, 6-pack might last you, what, an hour or two? You can tap a keg all night. You know, I don't know why I made eye contact with you, sir. I'm so sorry. It's going to be an awkward night, and I apologize in advance. I'm very, very sorry. Saw something the other day on the beach that both confused and disgusted me. Guys wearing thongs. Yeah, ladies, is that sexy? No. Last time I put on a thong, it looked more like a hairnet. A hairnet for those of you that are eating. Right? They're a little wiggle, and for the people not paying attention outside. Went to a nude beach recently, which I will never do again. Because guys, we have this vision in our heads when we hear the words nude beach. We think of young bouncy things frolicking in the waves, and the heavens open, the harps play, and the angels sing. No. I went to a nude beach, it was more like Raisin Bran gone wild. Oh my God, it was like there was a leather emporium that exploded at sea and everything just washed up on the beach. After that, I can no longer eat beef jerky, okay, I'm just saying. No dried prunes, not snapping into a Slim Jim, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, we're here at the Moonrise Brewery with Matt Elliott. He was one of the comics here tonight. How you doing, Matt?
Doing pretty good, Yeah, thanks for the interview. It's going to be awkward. Sorry, I'm an awkward person.
Okay. All right, it was a great act. And, so Matt, what made you get into comedy?
Well, I was always into theater growing up. And so, in college, my friend did it, and he was very bad at it. So, I did it here and there up in Pittsburgh and different places. And so I moved down to Florida and doing it more and more. I just like making people laugh. I like entertaining. It's, just like going out there and putting on a show. So.
Okay, me too. That was one of my goals, to make people laugh.
Yeah.
So if you look at it that way, it's a good thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, and who's your favorite comic of all time?
Of all time, Robin Williams.
Robin Williams.
Robin
That was a good one.
Yeah, he's a personal hero of mine because he's just so quick-witted, and sometimes during my show I'll ask the audience for suggestions for jokes and go off that, but nothing like he does. I mean, nothing like he did. So yeah.
Yeah, he was magical. He was really good.
Absolutely.
Okay, and where are you from?
I'm originally from a small town called Weirton, West Virginia. Up in northern Panhandle, West Virginia. So, yeah, right on the Pennsylvania-Ohio border. Yeah.
Oh, Oh, okay. Okay. You live in around down South Florida now?
Yeah, now I live in Daytona, which is just like West Virginia, but with the beach and a racetrack. So.
Oh, okay. And where do you perform? Just local venues, bars, and stuff?
I go to local venues. I'm every Tuesday night. I'm with a improv comedy troupe called Random Acts of Insanity. We perform Daytona on Beach Street at Cinematique Theater, and I'm all over the state of Florida. So with Bonkers Comedy Club or different place, any place that will have me on stage, that's where I go.
Oh, okay. And you have a website or Facebook?
Look me up on Twitter at Matt Elliott Haha, or you can look at me Matthew Elliott, Matthew with 1 T, Elliott with 2 on Facebook.
Oh, okay. And do you have any dark secrets?
Do I have any? I like Spider-Man way too much, and not a lot of people know this, but I do have his costume in my closet, and I wear it when I get bored, and it's splitting on the sides. So yeah, that's probably dark. Not really a dark secret, more like, oh my God, why do you tell us that secret? So.
Okay, I get it. All right, so thank you very much for the interview, and I'll see you around.
All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right.
Bye.
Your next comic coming up the stage, I've had a crush on her for a while now, but she refuses all of my advances. I can't figure it out. I don't know why, but I still love her anyway. So I want you guys to love her, and I want you guys to show her a lot of love. Give it up. Nice love, lots of energy, please, for Miss Anna Lepoli.
Let's give it up for Brian, all the comedians tonight here, ladies and gentlemen. Can I get a little bit of mic volume, Brian? I can't yell. Yeah, it is good to be here in Palm Coast. You guys are a good-looking crowd, very intelligent. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I know it may be hard to tell because I'm dressed like a 7th grade PE teacher. And I don't have season tickets to WNBA games. I mean, who does, right? But I love grabbing pussy, as they call it these days. That's my sexual preference. I may be the first lesbian some of you guys have ever seen. Have you guys ever seen one? Raise your hand if you've ever seen a lesbian that wasn't on porn. 1, 2? Anybody have lesbian daughters? Single? No? Mother? I do older. I'm in. Married? I'm into polygamy. Totally cool. No, you can't do it in Florida. Yeah, it's funny though. When people find out you're lesbian, they'll start to misperceive little things in your house. For example, guys, straight, gay, whatever you are. We all know what that box of tissues and that bottle of lotion's for. You guys are really into moisturizing, I get it. Very soft hands. We got straight ladies in here. I'm assuming every young lady in here is straight, right? 1. You're going to heaven, good for you. We got 1. I guess I'm at the Little Affair concert. Taking me by surprise, Palm Coast. It's awesome. When it comes to lesbians, everything in our house is seen as an accomplice to our sex lives because everybody sexualizes lesbians. It's really pathetic. For example, cucumbers. Nobody will ever eat a cucumber that's been inside of a lesbian's house. I try to offer them at parties with hors d'oeuvres. Nobody will touch them. And it would probably help if I sliced them up a little bit instead of serving them whole, looking like dildos. I gotta spare the rest because we have a child in here, but he's got earbuds in, so that's great. But anyways, I really get a kick out of when straight women give me this disclaimer, like, just so you know, I love that you're gay, I'm totally for gay rights, but don't hit on me because I totally love penis. Tell the straight lady, I'm like, don't worry, I'd never hit on you, not even my type, I wouldn't. And then she's like, what do you mean I'm at your type? How dare you betray me like that? Wait, what? I'm so confused. Gentlemen, I understand why you drink heavily. I get it. Drink up. Straight women are more indecisive than a squirrel trying to cross the street. Yeah, it's a true story. I can't believe people are against gay marriage this day and age. I'm still learning about places. The other day I learned there's a guy who owns a bakery in Colorado, and he refuses to bake cakes for gay weddings. I don't know if this guy realizes it, but there is nothing gayer than baking cake. Nothing. The 3 gayest things a guy can do in order, starting with the gayest, are baking cake, figure skating, and giving BJs. And this guy's having a fuss about baking cakes, huh? And you know, it didn't end there. I also learned there's a pizzeria in Indiana, and they refuse to cater pizza to gay weddings. Now this one I'm upset about. Because my white trash Indiana dream wedding is ruined. I was gonna serve pizza, bologna on a stick. My wedding cake was gonna be made out of fluffernutters. I was gonna have a Skid Row cover band. Guess I'll just have to do it in Daytona, huh? Go a little bit south. Yeah. Guys, I always recommend you do not hit on lesbians. Please, we hate it. It's so annoying. Plus, straight men, you have 8 million straight women to choose from. Lesbians have 16 lesbians to choose from, okay? That's all we got. And we've already slept with 10 of them. And the other 6 are in prison getting gold teeth and neck tattoos, okay? There's not a lot to choose from. So leave us alone, please. But it's tough dating for me as a lesbian personally. I'm either too feminine for girls or I'm too masculine for girls, which leaves only one type of person who will date me. Dudes. It's awful. I'm just single for life, especially here in North Florida. Nothing. Celibate. I'm gonna become a nun. We got any Latin Americans in here tonight? Boy, I really am in North Florida. Really? Nobody? Well, I'll tell you what, I tour all over the state, all over the country, and when I tour in Miami, I'll be like, we got any Latin Americans in here? Nobody answers me because nobody in Miami speaks English. Yes, I am Latin American. I totally have a thing for Latin girls, Colombians, Cubans, you name it, because I love passionate sex and not knowing whether or not I'm going to get stabbed right in the middle of it. I mean, being Latin American is great. It's the one nationality where it's acceptable to live with your parents until you're 80. It's also the one nationality where it's acceptable for your mother to hit you aggressively in the face with a sandal. Chancleta in Spanish, after she's made you rice and beans, of course. It's also the one nationality where it's acceptable for men to never exercise their legs. They train chest and biceps every day. You'll see it. You'll think of me when you see us in the gym. You guys know what it is. Yeah, people are always asking me how lesbians have sex. Pillow fights, of course. Now, I do have to get off this stage soon because I have to pee. But speaking of peeing, ladies, you ever have this happen to you? You're peeing in a public restroom and you're hovering over that toilet seat to avoid contact with hepatitis and a 7-inch pubic hair. By the way, who's growing that pubic hair this long, right? Like, ladies, you get it. Sometimes we're not getting any, we let it grow, but who's letting it grow this long? I feel like that's a step before suicide. You could probably commit suicide with it. Okay, sorry, bad joke, I know. And you're holding that stall door shut so no one barges in and sees your vagina. And at that moment, you ask yourself, what the hell am I doing with my life? I'm drunk in a bathroom stall, looking like a midget Hitler. I love Jewish people, by the way. I feel like nobody's Jewish in here, but just had to throw it out there. And then all of a sudden it gets better. You feel pee splash down the back of your legs. Yeah, gentlemen, you're not the only ones that have to aim. Now, I like the ladies in here, you're laughing at me, you're like, oh, I've had that happen. Ugh, I get it. The ladies who aren't laughing and are looking at me straight-faced are the ones that piss themselves the most. They're wearing black pants every day like I am. Do not let them sit on your lap. They are covered in piss. Thank you.
Anna Leppley, everybody keep it going more, please. Anna Leppley. Yeah.
Moonrise Brewery Company here in Palm Coast, Florida, and we have one of the comics tonight. And what's your name, Amy?
Anna Leppley.
Anna, how you doing, Anna?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. And you were very good tonight.
Thank you.
Where are you from, Anna?
I'm originally from Connecticut. I was based out of Miami for too many years because there's so much traffic. But I started comedy in Miami, and then I relocated to Jacksonville, Florida, but I'm touring all over the United States doing comedy. And I do lectures on the health benefits of beer, so I'm everywhere.
Oh, great,
Yes.
great. That's great. And where can they find you, on Facebook?
They can find me on Facebook and on Instagram, Anna Leppley. That's Anna with 2 N's, and the last name is L-E-P as in Peter, E-L-E-Y.
Okay, and what made you get into comedy?
So I have a PhD, and a couple months after I finished my doctorate, I had been giving lectures in academia for years, and I realized that I enjoyed making people laugh when I would give these lectures. So I decided to just do pure comedy as opposed to doing academia, making people laugh. I took a trip into the comedy world, and I'm married to it. Married to comedy.
Oh, that's great. So you got a thrill while you were teaching, and you had that thrill, and you carried it over, and you loved it.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, great. I have a little awkward question. If you don't have to answer it if you don't want.
I'll answer it.
Okay, do you have any dark secrets?
Dark secrets. Wow. You know, as a comedian, I don't really have secrets. I kind of spill everything on stage.
Yeah, I noticed that with your act. You went all the way out.
Yeah, that's the thing. As a comedian, we don't really have secrets. I think the one thing I probably can't be in a monogamous relationship, and I'm very open about that to whoever I date.
Okay, great.
Because I'm married to comedy, so I can't.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Do I have any other questions? How long have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing comedy for about 4 to 5 years. I had to take an 8-month hiatus. I had throat surgery, and I got back on like nobody's business, and that's why I can't yell when I do comedy.
Right. As we noticed tonight with the other comedians, they were very verbose.
Yeah. No yelling. I mean, I love those comedians, but I get my message across without yelling.
Okay, great. And I'll hope to see you soon, and enjoy the evening.
Yeah,
and thank you very much.
I want to do comedy in Staten Island and Long Island, please. I would love to.
Oh, okay. All right, great. And you don't know who's watching this show, but you could be out there, and hopefully we'll see you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Nice meeting you.
All right, bye.
Very nice. Then please get up nice and loud, please. Lots of love for Marcus Crespo.
All right, how's everyone doing? You guys are not sure what you walked into, huh? That's cool. All right, right on. I'm 33 years old. I got quiet. You guys are like, wow, you're a terrible 33, and you are correct. Because I'm not a good 33. I'm not a 2018 33 that does yoga and eats kale smoothies and lives at 96. That's not me, baby. I'm a throwback 33. I'm an 1895 33. Type of 33-year-old named Paul working the sawmill, died of smallpox at 34, 33. All right. I'm performing comedy in a bar, and I don't drink, yet I look like alcohol's destroying my life. All right. Yeah. Like tonight at first, it just gets worse. It gets worse. So, like, I had a pet recently. I had a guinea pig that was like narcoleptic, and I didn't know it. I was like, oh, homie likes to sleep. And I just kept feeding it, and apparently, just to give you an idea how bad of a pet owner I am, it died, and I didn't know about it for 4 days. And so for 4 days, I kept feeding a dead guinea pig. Yeah, because I make terrible decisions. I had a pet, I don't have kids, yet I look like a weekend visitation father only. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I cut my hair. I cut my hair recently. I was trying to grow it out, but I realized you can't grow it out a nice haircut when you're balding in 2 separate spots. All right, because I was trying to grow it a freaking mullet, you know. And what's a mullet? It's business up front, party in the back. Now when you're balding in 2 separate spots, for me it was business up front, unemployment, crippling depression, party in the back. You know. Cool, man. You guys are fun. You guys are cool. It's a unique situation, but I'm not fretting. This ain't weird for me because I've done weird shows. Like I performed in churches and strip clubs. I performed in a dude's living room for 1 dude. Yeah, we had a 300-person show, and then me and my buddies on the show. He goes, "I like you guys. You were funny. How about I booked you for a private show? But like, how much time we're doing?" He's like, 10 minutes a piece. I'm like, "What's the rate?" He's like, $100. I'm like, "Deal, sign on the dotted line," you know. And so I'm like, "How many people are gonna be there?" And he's like, 6. I'm like, "That's a small crowd, but let's do it." And you get there, and 5 of those people never showed up. It was just 1 dude on a couch, and he goes, "Are we gonna get the show started?" I'm like, "Oh, he planned this." So I had to pretend like there was a crowd. They're like, "How's everybody doing tonight?" You know, just like putting my leg on the coffee table. It was really weird. That's cool, man. I like comedy. Comedy's it's cool. There's pros and cons to doing comedy. One of the cons of doing comedy is if I stepped off this stage and someone didn't know that I was a comedian, a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're a comedian? Tell me a joke, make me laugh." And that's unfair, all right? That's unfair. You don't do that with other jobs. Like, hey, man, what do you do for a living? Well, I'm a neurosurgeon. Oh, really? Work on my frontal lobe, you know? But there's a pro of doing comedy, and that is hypothetically if I stepped up here in front of you fine people and I did not have a good night, I get on Facebook or social media and whine about it like I did in Sanford, Florida, where hopes and dreams go to die. I was like, hey, I'm Marcus Crespin. I'm like, we don't care. You know, for 30 minutes, and then I went on Facebook and like, this is what it was like I want to quit doing comedy. And people that love and care about me were like, you get a next time, champ. And that's when I realized that's the advantage of comedy over, say, other professions, let's say the medical profession. Because you couldn't be a heart doctor after having a rough night in the ER and be like, guess what, guys? I lost another one on the table today. Your friends can't chime in like, you get a next time, champ. No, the hell you won't, right? Yeah, you better. Because that's a HIPAA violation, dude. You're about to get sued for malpractice, all right? So you better learn how to tell a fart joke fast, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's cool. I'm wearing this t-shirt here. I tried to dress up recently and it backfired. I did a show at a nice jazz bar, and I was like, oh, it's a nice swanky jazz bar. Let me dress up. So I went to a place called Dee Dee's Discount. It's basically for poor people who want to try not to dress poor, but it doesn't matter because it's still for poor people. So I got a shirt. I got a dress button-up, black button-up dress shirt for $3.99 in my size. And then they had a size up. I'm like, let's go for the size up. I thought it was looking good. The arms were tight. I'm like, oh, guys have been doing it. Yeah. You know, and I get there, and it wasn't until I got to the venue when I sat down that I realized that that was not a men's shirt. It was, in fact, a very, very, very husky kid's shirt. Because I found out because my comedy friends were roasting me about how tight it was in the midsection. Like when I was standing up, the shirt was fine, but when I sat down, that middle button was struggling. Just to give you an idea what that middle button looked like, it looked like Spider-Man holding back a subway train. It's like, ah! It was terrible. All right, that's cool, great. I like comedy. Comedy's fun. What I like about it is it's better than my other previous jobs. One of my previous jobs I did before I did stand-up comedy was I used to be a mall security officer at one of the sketchiest malls in the country. I saw some stuff, man. I worked there for 7 years, which is entirely way too long to work mall security. And I think I developed a small case of PTSD from working mall security. You know how stupid that sounds? I mentioned that to a friend of mine, her suggestion, why don't you get PTSD therapy like Wounded Warrior Project? And I was like, why don't I get better friends? Because that means you want me to sit in a round table discussion with soldiers who fought real wars to go over my backstory as a mall security officer like it's somehow comparable. He's going up to this sad, shell-shocked guy like, hey man, what's your name? He's like, my name's John Dawson. I served 2 tours Afghanistan, 1 tour Iraq. I lost 7 friends and my wife left me. Oh my God. And then he's like, what, my backstory's like, what about you, bud, me? And I feel like I gotta amp up my backstory just to compare him, like, security guard Crespo, 2 tours Black Friday, Forever 21, damn skinny jeans, you know. Yeah. Every time I see a clearance, I can get the shakes like, you weren't there, man. Shopping carts for days, you know. It's terrible. One of the weird perks about that job, if you could call it that, was I got a gun pulled on me like 4 separate times working there. Before I worked that job, I'd never seen a handgun, and then I worked that job, I had it pulled in my face 4 separate times. And that created some weird situations, because I don't know about you guys, anyone here road ragers? Anyone road rage? That guy got called out immediately, the dude at the bar. Yeah, we're in the same boat, man. Yeah, it's like one time I was driving on I-4, or as I call it, Satan's butthole. It's a terrible road. It's a terrible road. And I was having a bad night. And this one guy decided to tailgate me and then cut me off repeatedly. I'm like, tonight's not the night, bro! And so I tailgated him and I cut him off repeatedly. And apparently, everyone, he was having the same type of night because we cut each other off for 5 miles. Mile 5, this guy was like, I'm done with this game. This guy brandished a gun. See how quiet it got? I wish that was my response to that situation, but it wasn't. Instead, I was just like, why don't you do it? To which he was like, ah, and he drove away. Because what he didn't realize, guys, I'm a fat guy with sleep apnea. I die 17 times a night, all right? So if you really want to shake things up and make me fear my maker, it wasn't going to be a gun that was going to do the trick, all right? If you really want to drive that point home, all you do is pull up inside my car and just start pumping up an air mattress in a threatening manner. Be like, night-night, punk! Go to sleep! Go to sleep! Yeah, all right. I'm afraid of lightning. Anyone else here afraid of lightning? I didn't think so. Oh, one person. All right, that's two people in the back. All right, yeah. Also, I don't like lightning for several reasons. First of all, you can't chokehold lightning. Lightning does whatever the hell it wants to. Second of all, that's how God smites people, right? If John's messing up, boom, John is dead. But when's the last time that John or somebody like that got caught messing up and got struck by lightning? Lately, the only people get struck by lightning are people that probably didn't deserve it in the first place. Lately, it's always somebody's grandma that went to the beach to grab the cooler while you load the kids into the SUV. You're like, hey, Nana, my hands are full. Can you help me out? Sure thing, sweetheart. Boom, Nana! Next thing you know, there's Capri Suns everywhere. You got to go to the Birch Bar where Nana got toasted and spelled rest in peace and Uncrustables. It's so sad. It's so sad. You guys have been fun. I'm going to give it back to your host, Mr. Brian Thomas.
Keep it going for Marcus Crespo, everybody. Marcus Crespo. Yeah. All right. Never.
Okay, we're here at the Moonrise Cafe with one of the comics tonight. And your name is?
Marcus Crespo.
Marcus Crispa?
Crespo.
Crispo. Marcus Crispo. And Marcus, where are you from, Marcus?
Originally from Jacksonville, Florida. I just moved back here recently, but I travel, doing comedy, whatnot. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And what made you do stand-up comedy?
I've always been like a goofball, like when I was in school. I used to photo bomb me. No, you're good. I used to dress up in costumes in school, do weird stuff like that.
Okay, you were like a class clown.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I first time on stage was a talent show that my uncle did music, and so he put together a talent show, and they coerced me to go up there and do some jokes. And I think I bombed, but they said I did pretty good, but whatever.
Oh, okay, so it got you going.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
And you got a thrill out of the laughter and stuff.
Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, it was fun. So.
Oh, okay. And who's your favorite comic?
Ooh, my favorite comics? Wow, that's a tough one. Mitch Hedberg was a good one. I like Mitch, but most of my favorite ones are passed away. So I'm gonna go with ones that are still alive. I like Kyle Kinane.
Oh, okay.
I like Nate Bargatze, Brian Posehn, guys like that. Oh, David Tell, definitely. David Tell.
Yeah, Nate Bargatze, he was on my show.
Oh yeah, Nate, yeah. I worked with him a couple years ago before I moved to Orlando a couple years back.
Yeah, he's great.
He's a good guy. Good guy.
Yeah. Look, the ninja, right? The ninja.
Yeah.
So, okay, and here's a little awkward question, but do you have any dark secrets to share?
Any dark secrets? I fought a lot of people. I used to fight a lot of people. I used to work mall security, and it was a hellhole. And
really?
It was
like your act.
Yeah, it was gang riddled. That was a very toned down version of my normal telling it, because it's sketchy. It was like sex, drugs, rock and roll, but in a mall, in a parking lot. It was weird. Yeah.
Wow, that's something. Yeah. And, all right, so do you have a website, or do you have a Facebook, or somewhere people get in touch with you if they want to?
I'm on Facebook, Marcus Crespo. I'm on Instagram, Marcus Crespo Besto. Twitter, I believe is M Crespo Besto, and I'm on YouTube, but that's in lieu right now. I'm trying to put newer videos. I have some old ones that are just bad. So.
Oh, okay. That's where people can get you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much,
Awesome.
And you were awesome tonight.
Oh, thank you, my friend.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
This evening. Yeah. Then, ladies and gentlemen, I do want you guys to give it up nice and loud. Lots of love, please, for Mr. Wes Johnson.
Thank you, Brian. Woo! Let me put my brakes on here. I roll out of here. I don't think y'all can put me back. My name's Wes Johnson. I'm not a stand-up comic. I'm not an upstanding citizen. I'm not a stand-up guy. Hell, I don't even stand up for things I believe in. If at any point in this night I do stand up, trust me, you'll be just as surprised as I am. wheelchair does make things more difficult. Not here, but most places there's a stage and none of them have ramps. I'm literally one of the only comedians who needs a big hand. They're like, let's give a big hand to Wes Johnson. Woo! No, really, we need 2 guys with strong backs. Get him up there. And then that puts a lot of pressure on me to be funny, because if I'm not and everybody leaves, I'm stuck up there. It gives it to me, I'll be here all week, you know? Oh, good, good, good. Some people have a hard time laughing at a guy in a wheelchair to his face. Not you monsters. Don't take it to it real quick, which is good. And I'll tell you my story. 7 years ago, I was in an off-road accident. It was a regular road, I just went off it. I flipped a Jeep over 4 times, so technically it was an off-road, on-road, off-road, on-road, off-road, on-road, off-road, on-road accident. But who's counting, right? The police, that's who. The police counted, and then they had the nerve to write me a ticket for reckless driving, which I thought was garbage, because when the police got there, I wasn't driving. I was actually laying in the street paralyzed, which is not illegal, but I do not recommend it. Yeah. The accident left me paralyzed with broken neck and no feeling from about here down, which is good for comedy, because if you don't laugh at my jokes, you can only hurt my feelings from here up. So there's like a 75% chance if you don't laugh, I won't care. Well, in a chair, don't care, that's my motto. I don't like to tell people that I wrecked a Jeep. Like, I'm one of those guys who is so brand loyal to Jeep that I don't want people to think bad about them. So I find myself defending Jeeps like we were just in a bad relationship. I'm like, no, it's not the Jeep's fault. You know, sometimes I just get on the gas and mash the wrong buttons and he loses control. And he didn't mean to do this to me. I don't know why I'm the woman in this relationship, but I'm going right back to the Jeep as soon as I can, is what I'm saying. We all know that girl. You know, there's just something about a Jeep can't explain. Does anybody here drive a Jeep? Get rid of them. They're a death trap. No, I understand. I do too. There's something you can't explain. It's like there's a sense of freedom. You take the top down, you got the wind blowing through your hair. There's nothing holding you back. And that's just being ejected from one. Like, you're not going to get that feeling being thrown out of a Prius. You might get 90 miles to the gallon, but they don't have ejection ports. Jeep has put an ejection port on all 4 sides and the roof. That is thinking. I started driving again recently, and as a service to y'all, I'm going to hang out after the show and let y'all get home safely. I heard some keys jingling outside. Like, I'll give you a chance to make it home before I leave here. I didn't get a Jeep. What I got was a pretty sweet minivan. And that's the response you get when you say you drive a sweet minivan. It's sweet. It's got hydraulics on it that lower the ramp down so I can get in. And then I roll in. It doesn't have a front seat, so I can just slide under the wheel. It's got a lever on the side. When you push it forward, it hits the gas, and when you pull it down, it hits the gas. When you push forward, it hits the brake. What I'm saying is y'all should probably get a head start. You might want a head start. It's so sweet. Somebody stole it. Honest to God, let's back it up. It doesn't have a front seat. So somebody stole it standing up. I don't know if it's discrimination or not. Maybe a handicapped person needed a van. But no, it was 2 regular guys. So I call you guys the good legs, regular people. And they use it to rob an appliance store. Which I don't know if they wanted to rob an appliance store and needed a van with a ramp on it, or if they stole a van with a ramp on it, were like, we can fit a washer and dryer back here. But whatever they did, it worked. Because when the police found them, there was a washer and dryer and $1,000 in an envelope. In an envelope underneath the back seat. Which I told the police, thank God they didn't find my money. That's right where I keep it. So I can't even be mad because they didn't steal a van. They rented it for $1,000. It's a business I like to be in. If it gets out they could have got a U-Haul for $19.95 and it's got a better ramp, I would be out of business. recently offered to take me to Universal Studios. They were going to pay for everything, which when you're in a chair, you have to be suspicious when people start being too nice. I'm like, is this a Make-A-Wish? Like, I had been feeling a little down, but I thought it was just flu season. You know something I don't. It turns out they just wanted to skip the lines. Did you know that disabled people no longer get to skip the lines? Because they sure didn't. And now it's like a $150 lesson on treating people in wheelchairs with a little bit of respect. So what happened was people were hiring disabled people as travel guides to take them to amusement parks, which disgusts me. Because, like I said, I've been in this chair 7 years, and no one has ever offered to take me to an amusement park. I live in Florida. I'm on the way. Just scoot me out. We'll go. Like, how do you even get that job? So you just see you in a bar, and they're like, hey, man, you want to go to Disney World? Yes, please. Is there like a disabled pimp service you can call? Gimpin' Pimpin'. They break the spine, you skip the line. You know, we got the deal, pay by the wheel, you know? Yeah, they shut that down. They say it's a tough life for a wheelchair pimp, you know? It's tough out there. We did go, we had a great time. They talked me into going on a roller coaster for the first time since my accident, which I was immediately concerned about because it was one where your legs dangle. And my legs are extra dangly. So we got on and started going up. It's like click, 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 click. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad. But there's no way to get off a roller coaster because the more you wave your arms and scream, the better time they think you're having. So it looked like I was having a blast. When we went over that first hump, and we hit the first turn, and I went this way, and my legs went this way, and I could see them. And then we went this way, and my legs were over here, and I could see them. And then we did a loop, and I kicked myself right in the face. We got done, and they said, do you want to go on the death drop? No, thank you. That's the one where they take you 40 stories up and then drop your butt first while your legs wave in the air. No, thank you. We'll go to Disney World, and you'll find me on the teacups doing this until I'm dizzy. That's my new ride of choice. My wife and I, we've been married now 3 years. Thank you, thank you.
Got me beat.
Yeah. We have a special relationship. We're not like most couples. We're more like a girl and a puppy. Like she wakes me up in the morning and then gets me ready so I can go out. And then she goes off to work and I put her around the house making messes I can't clean up. Like the other day I spilled some cereal and I was like, oh, she's gonna hit me with a newspaper when she gets home. But I'm cute. I'm cute. I know when she's coming so I can wait by the door. I can hear keys jingling. And she still hits me, but I can tell it's with love. You know. We've been married long enough now that my mom and her mom have decided it's time for us to start having kids, which I'm concerned about because I like to have kids, but I don't know how I'm going to discipline a child once it learns to climb on something. What do I do? Like, get off that bed. I'm giving you a spanking as soon as I find a ramp. I got to get it. I got one of those reachers like your grandma has. I'm grab by the leg, snatch him up. Some people call that child abuse. I call it adaptive parenting. I'm going to have the only baby with Velcro on it so I can pick it up. Thank you folks so much. Y'all been a great crowd. My name's Wes Johnson. You can follow me on Facebook at HaHa Wes Johnson. Y'all have a great night.
Wes Johnson, everybody keep it going one, please. Wes Johnson. Yes.
Okay, we're here at the Moonrise Brewery Company in Palm Coast, Florida, and we're here with one of the comics tonight. He was very good. His name is Wesley Johnson. And how you doing, Wesley?
I'm doing good, thank you.
Okay, Wesley, where you from?
I'm from Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh,
so
cool.
Just a little ways above the road.
Oh, cool, cool. Close by. Yeah. Oh, okay. And what made you get into comedy?
Well, I had a bad accident, and I kind of used comedy as a way to let my friends and family know that I'd be okay.
Oh, okay. That's cool. And who's your favorite comic?
I like Jerry Seinfeld and Bill Burr, my two favorites.
Oh, cool. My Jerry Seinfeld is my favorite also. Well, that's good. Now, what do you have any dark secrets that you want to share? I know that's a little awkward question.
Oh, this is just an act. I'm not really in a wheelchair.
Okay.
I'm committed to the bit. It's been 7 years, so we're riding it out.
Oh, okay. And do you have a Facebook or a Twitter account or something where they could get your schedule or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook at HaHa Wes Johnson and also on Twitter at HaHa Wes Johnson.
Oh, okay, great. All right, you were great tonight, and thank you very much for the interview.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we're here at the Moonrise Brewery. We had a nice comedy show tonight, and I have the MC tonight. And what's your name?
Brian Thomas Nato.
Brian Thomas, how you doing?
Not bad.
Hey, yeah, it was a great show tonight. And how long have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing it 11 years now, mostly in, I'm in this area, but I perform mostly in the Southeast. I tour a lot of the clubs that are, in those areas, mostly along the East Coast. Next month, I'm actually going out to do the Looney Bins out in Oklahoma and Tulsa and Little Rock, Arkansas.
Oh, ironically, there is a Looney Bin on Staten Island, too.
Oh, okay, well, I'm not doing that one. So.
Okay, and who's your favorite comic?
Like now or anytime?
Now or then, all time?
My favorite probably was Patrice O'Neill, was one of my favorites. So it's sad that, he only got a few albums out before. But right now, maybe Tom Segura. I didn't even know who Tom Segura was until I emceed for him. I just showed up like, it was like 3 years ago, too. So
that's cool.
I should have known who he was, but then I worked with him, and it was a lot of fun. So he's been one of my favorites since, yeah. So.
Oh, okay. And do you have a Facebook or where people can contact you?
I do. It's, Brian Thomas Comedy. My Twitter's Comedian Brian. My Instagram, I think, is Brian Thomas Comedy as well. But obviously I don't use that much because I had to think about what it was. But I'm working on it. I'm not very good with the social media stuff, but I'm trying to work on that, yeah. So, and then the show is Comedy on Tap. That's the show we put on tonight. And we have a Facebook page for that, too, so.
Oh, okay, so people could like the page and join?
They can, yeah, and see all of our upcoming shows. We have a couple breweries. We have this one here in Palm Coast. We also have one at Veterans United Brewery up in Jacksonville. And I'm always working on new stuff. I like doing breweries. They're a real laid-back audience. People aren't there to get wasted. They're not there to get drunk. They're
right, just
have a good time.
Yeah, have a couple of brews and not to get bombed.
So you don't normally have to deal with people that are wasted. So
right.
So it's good. I like it.
Yeah, exactly.